Hey everybody, this is Barry Mankin here with the Holistic Home Health Podcast. I am here with Ashley Maroney, and she is a certified Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and a certified Intuitive Homeopath. A lot of different things here, so there's a lot of great credentials. Service practitioner, advanced root cause detox specialist with over 15 years of lived and clinical experience in the trenches of complex chronic illness. So we are here at the service conference here in Florida. We met through some other friends in the industry, and I just want to welcome you to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
We've had some great talks.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm just fascinated by the balance between the building and the body. On the body side, you have gone through so much, both on a personal level and on a professional level. You've seen a lot of different things. You kind of know the game here.
Yeah.
You've gone through what works and what doesn't work. You've got opinions on the good, the bad, the ugly of the whole thing. And you're finding success now on your end for a lot of your clients that you see.
Absolutely.
We're going to talk, guys, on like her story. We're going to talk on what she's doing now. It's very fascinating. So we're going to try to pack it all in.
Okay.
I'm going to give a little bit more of your bio here.
Okay.
And talk about, some of the things that we started with. Other than the service practitioner and the detox specialist, she is also trained under two of the most respected names in mold and service medicine. Okay. Dr. Neil Nathan, MD, author of Toxic, and Dr. Jill Krista, author of Break the Mold. So if you're in the know, you'll know those books or those names. So she trained directly under them. All right? She's currently working on the most advanced detox certification that exists through Toxin University. She runs a comprehensive toxic burden assessments through Vibrant Wellness, US Biotech, and Mosaic OAT Labs, and is a Cellcore Biosciences practitioner specializing in finding the root cause of what most practitioners miss. So, outside of this, which is what we're going to get into, her best education is through being in the trenches herself, her own experiences, finding out for herself what worked for her and her family. And I just want to let you take the floor and just say, how did this all start?
Okay. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here tonight. So honored to meet you at this conference. And I began this work. The work actually chose me. I didn't try to go into this. My children have taken me on a wild ride. I have what are known as canaries in the coal mine, and I didn't know it before I had them.
I use that term all the time.
Yeah, when you've got them, you know. My son, Tyler, was a vaccine-injured kiddo, and from the time that he came out, I was raised very conventionally. Everything that we did was what I learned in growing up, that you take your child in to get vaccinations. Tyler regressed at every single set. 2 months, hypothyroid. 4 months, global regression. Stopped looking at us. Stopped breastfeeding. Head drooped. Couldn't roll over. Major stuff that you know something's really, really wrong. And by 6 months, he was pooping blood. And I was like, I'm done. And was gone. And we had to start to look for every type of biomedical treatment. I researched everything, trying to figure out, because I knew that the former child I had wasn't gone. So we started seeking out practitioners. I didn't care. And in 2010, when this happened, this was not a conversation that people were ready to hear, that there was a vaccine injury. I was labeled, judged, dismissed, and I didn't care, because it was my baby on the line.
Right.
And as we started finding biomedical practitioners, he started healing. When we started treating the medical side, and guys, there was mycotoxins, there was parasites. Again, 2010, 2011, where nobody was talking about the social media was not
a thing.
No, Facebook was out, and I was finding some little groups called Recovering Kids, and there began the journey. And as we would start to change his diet, we'd see better eye contact. And it was like fuel. I'm like, this is working. This is changeable.
Yes.
Parasite treatment was huge. He started coming online socially.
Now, how are you finding like all of these different types of modalities? Because right now, I mean, that's being thrown at us on social media.
Yeah, finally.
We're learning, so much of that
Finally.
of our education, unfortunately, and fortunately, is social media.
Yes.
There's good and bad with that, but back then,
there was nothing.
like, who are you? Like, was it a different doctors or one specific person, or?
It was me researching like a madwoman. I always say a concerned mother does better research than someone in the FBI. And I stand on that statement because that's your baby. And you know when something's not right, and you know that it wasn't that way. And you become on fire for trying to help this child because it's your child. And any moms that are watching this out there, you're going to resonate big with me, I know, because it's everything. We started finding that there were, at the time it was called DAN practitioners, Defeat Autism Now. They weren't even so there was functional medicine doctors, but they were trying to put together the studies because we didn't have time to wait for the studies. Our kids were messed up now.
Right.
So I started seeing some of those doctors and putting things together. We did test positive for parasites because my kid was so immune compromised, and I didn't care what we spent. We were traveling up to see the famous autism GI doctor in New York to get him scoped because he was failing to thrive. He was the youngest kid ever scoped at 16 months old. That doctor found an immune abnormality, had no immune system left, 6 safe foods. I mean, you guys, I was out checking everything. He was the one that found the parasites. We were popping up positive on regular labs with tons of them. Blastocystis hominis, Cryptosporidium, D. fragilis. And as we treated them, my son looked so much less autistic. And I was like, holy crap, this isn't even what we think. We're told this is some DSM-5 diagnosis, but it's changeable, like markedly. And we'd come off of these antiparasitics and he'd go back to autism. And I was like,
immediate.
Oh, within days. Wow. So I'd know when we were going to dose. Same thing with a few antibiotics. He was full of bad bacteria, that gut-brain axis. I got early knowledge that by changing the microbiome of my child, he was a more functional child. And as soon as the bacterias would come back or we'd stop the anti-infective protocol, same thing with herbs, he would go back to a more severe state. And I was like, we need to stay on this. So I then traveled out to see Dr. Klinghardt, which some of you guys may know in the alternative space. So what I was finding is all these doctors, nobody had all the pieces we needed. And I was traveling all over the country. And that's what, ultimately ended up leading me to become the practitioner I couldn't find.
Right.
I have more layers. So Tyler, fortunately, by 3, all of the traces of autism were gone.
Wow.
We did hyperbarics by 3 years old. We started, again, the silver lining, I will say to you mamas out there that have a hunch, trust your intuition, because it's never wrong.
Wow.
And I didn't trust it at first, and that's what led me to do subsequent vaccinations. I kept asking the right questions to the wrong people and at the wrong time. I was right way too early, and the conversation nobody was ready to hear it back then. But yeah, so by 3, we'd done hyperbarics. Homeopathy. I became a homeopath in the process. I became a lot of things, but by 4, we decided something unimaginable. We were going to have another child because we could. We never thought we would because Tyler went on IVIG, guys, all the things we had to do with my kiddo, and a lot of trial and error.
Right.
But that's how you learn.
Well, and that's, to your point, that's how you learn, where so many people don't have an understanding of what it takes unless they get those pain points and they have to go through it. Now they're researching for themselves, but even today, that's 2010.
Yeah.
So like today, and it's 15 years, 16 years later, these are still new things for a lot of the public.
Right.
Like these concepts of detoxing, and unless you're getting it on social media and it's in on your feed because you're curious about it.
Yes.
We have no idea how this rabbit hole, how far that goes, or how far we need to go, because we don't even know how to self-diagnose.
Right.
We stay oppressed. We think things are normal.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, it's like at some point we can't function. And that you told me earlier, this didn't happen a month ago.
No.
This stuff happened years ago.
It's years of exposure.
And your toxic load gets built up, or you have these derailments of different things that happen in your life. And then how the body holds on.
100%.
Then our side comes in on the environmental.
Oh, yeah.
are you staying triggered or still staying in exposure?
Right.
And it complicates the whole thing. So that's what this conference is all about.
Yeah.
Now,
well, we didn't have the mold piece enter in until my second son. So we have my second son.
And then so he's better.
So Tyler's better. We decide we're going to have a child. We do it totally differently. I'm like, we're going to do all natural birth, everything differently with a doula. I'm not doing any interventions. No vaccinations. I'm like, I have this all figured out. This kid's going to be great. And we move into a moldy house, unbeknownst to us, at 18 months old with my second child. Okay. It starts out fine. He's advanced. He's like hyperlexic, reading early by 2 years old. I'm like, we got this.
Okay,
we did
hold
this
on a second.
right.
For the kids at home, me hyperlexic reading, mainly for me.
Yeah. So he was so bright, and I really attribute this to we were doing Weston A. Price Foundation diet.
Okay.
His first food was like an egg yolk and like avocado and bone broth. Like, I mean, I was crunchity crunch by this point, you guys. I had done hypno babies to birth my child on a birthing ball. Okay, we were totally a 180.
That's as hippie as it gets.
From the old me that was like, yeah, give him the Hep B at birth and all the things. I had done enough research, and so after we moved into the place, so he was reading early. I mean, literally, I probably was memorizing the books, but he's speaking early. I'm like, we have no worries with this kid. I breastfed him extra long. The moment I stopped breastfeeding this child, right before, and it was long because he wasn't getting vaccines. I knew the benefits of that. He regressed so sharply. It was March 17th, 2018 at 10:30 a.m. And anyone who has a child with pandas knows that type of sharp regression. I can say it because it stamps trauma into the mom like that. I know exactly when it was. He stopped talking. He looked autistic. We had no vaccinations. The common feature of both autism and pandas is brain inflammation. It's encephalopathy. And so a child's brain immune system begins attacking their brains.
Right.
I had all the doctors. I was like, okay, I know what this, I'm freaking out. I don't know what the cause is.
Right.
I know we stopped breastfeeding him, but we need to figure it out. So we start running immune panels. We start running infection panels. What triggered this? Did he get strep? Was there something that happened?
So it's being buffered from his environment, if you will.
Yeah.
Based off of your health.
Right.
Because he was getting his sustenance directly from you, and it was keeping him to some degree farther out of, away from or being able to process whatever he was exposed to in his environment because he was so healthy.
My immune system was protecting him while he was young.
Wow.
And I think as soon as we yanked that away, that protection went away, and we were living in toxic mold. Now, we didn't know. We ended up, even my functional medicine doctor ran a urine mycotoxins test. And y'all know, if you're watching this and you've got kiddos and they're affected with SIRS or pandas, urine mycotoxins tests can be valuable data sometimes, but it all depends on capacity. If your organs aren't shut down, if you're excreting, again, why I talked about the order of operations and getting the body functional, if you have an HLA-DR mutation like my son does, you don't excrete well at all. And if you've been living for 18 months in mold, those little organs are shut down. Right. He excreted nothing. It came back clean. Tyler's came back positive. And I thought, you know what? We closed the case. He's at school.
Yeah.
And Jackson's not. Our house was fine. Well, and I missed 8 months going down the wrong treatment paths and hurt my son trying to treat infections, and he regressed. Worse.
The other thing when we get into dosage, right, the way we look at it is that we know certain things. Obviously, we're not on the medical side, but we have a little bit of information to understand how the exposure is from the environment. And when you're talking about that, the first thing I'm thinking of is, okay, when they're born, they're breathing 9 times more than we are as adults.
Yes.
So what is the dosage based off the environment? You're going to process that better depending on your genealogy and depending on your health and all that. But from a dosage standpoint, that makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Because that wasn't measured. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that as soon as he's, off of that dependency, Now it's like the dosage is just right there, and he doesn't have the same defense mechanisms to
Right.
fight it at your level.
100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was. So then after that, we would finally gotten to a point. So in the process of the autism land and all the therapies and all the things I didn't even mention that comes with it, we lost our home. We were rebuilding credit for years, had to rent. We finally had enough money to buy a house. Unbeknownst to us, brought all of our super moldy stuff into our brand new home and cross-contaminated it and kept laying in the beds and the pillows, just like any family that has no idea about mold would do. You bring your books, all the porous items, full of black mold, into the new space. And within 9 months, our new beautiful home, we ended up checking in the AC. We had a roof leak. And I right away was on it. I'm like, there's mold can be an issue. We'd never had it. We didn't think. And we had our guy look in the AC that we just closed on 9 months prior.
Yeah.
Full of mold in the coils, blowing it through entire house.
Wow.
So we had now cross-contaminated our first home after 4 years of being outside of a home because we had done a deed in lieu of foreclosure on our last home because we couldn't, we sacrificed it for my babes, and exactly. I would do it every time.
Absolutely.
But we find this now, and I'm like,
yeah.
And in the process of trying to treat Jackson as well, he was having reactions when we tried to do anything anti-infective. He would break out in rashes all over his body, be screaming up to God on the floor. I mean, just if any of you guys have pans and pandas in your picture, you guys already know it is such a helpless, isolating illness. It waxes and wanes. You can have good days and bad days. So there's a lot of judgment that comes into that with the mom, the dad. It breaks apart the family. It is a childhood interrupted like that.
Right. Tell me, what did that journey look like? Because you're shifting your focus now to, hey, it's not just the body. Let's deal with this environment.
Oh, yeah.
Because we can't blame this one on the vaccines.
Nope. And that blew my mind, you guys. Again, this is where you have to humble yourself, and how I learned everything in the trenches is you think you know, and this journey humbles you, man. Big time.
Yeah.
That you're like, okay, everything. The older I got and the more my kids taught me, the more I realized the less I know.
Yeah. Well, that's all of us.
Yeah. So. And that's you have to come into it with the mind of a child and stay open and curious.
Yeah.
It's how I ended up becoming a homeopath. I was like, okay, none of this other traditional stuff's working. How about some energy medicine? We'll try anything.
Yeah.
But the environment was absolutely the problem.
So how does that look? Give us the fast track here, because I want to get to what you do.
Yes. Okay.
But I want to make sure that we understand what that process looked like from the moment you felt like, okay, now I know that I have an environmental issue.
Yes.
You don't understand it. You have to get education around it. You've already got education around the other side of it.
Yes.
Now you're having to find other resources.
Yes.
You're learning again.
Yep.
And you're you're throwing darts at the wall.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you're trying to find anything that's going to work.
Yes.
Tell us what that looks like. Tell us, effects on the family through the process. And then I want to know
what happened.
What happened?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna leave that a mystery.
Okay. So we start looking. Thankfully, in the circles that I'm in, I've got vaccine injured children, PAMS children, mothers that are also in it. And some, thankfully, mothers had gone through it before me, and they're like, mold, it's a major problem. It can trigger the whole thing. I'm like, well, I did a urine mycotoxin. No. So we do the HLA-DR mutation test. He's got a double copy. And I'm like, oh. So he wasn't excreting. So then I get led to some indoor, environmental engineers, people that are high caliber working on SIRS. I learn about SIRS, but I don't really know about it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm led to some gems of people. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then I start looking and seeing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So we have really good people come in and start to do testing. And guys, you get what you pay for. There's levels to this. If you get Joe Schmo Guy in there, it can be a death sentence on your house and all the patients inside of it. And we were all sensitive. I was having symptoms inside the moldy house, and my other son was too. They were all different, so we missed it. Right. I thought I was hypoglycemic. I was passing out.
Yeah.
My other son had really bad allergies. His eyes were huge. I thought it was pollen. We were developing food allergies. We were all flushing, which would now I know is a mast cell disorder, which is very common. Histamine intolerance. But you start to go down this and you realize, oh my gosh, there's so many different people, so many different options. You're almost swimming in a sea of I don't know who to trust, and I'm scared, and I need the right people. And we went as good as we could with what we could afford.
Right.
Had people come in. We ended up remediating the home. Did the whole entire AC system, taken out with a SIRS protocol, wrapped up. Did all the things right. And what we failed to do, knowing what I know now, we did not small particle clean it enough. And likely we could have saved that home in hindsight, knowing what I know now. But this is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we spent $80,000 on that remediation.
80 grand.
80 grand.
And still didn't get to the bottom of it.
Nope. And by the time we came back, so we moved out to our RV. We had an RV. We lived out there while they did the remediation. It was a Green Guard Gold certified. My kids were so sensitive by this point, we couldn't stay in hotels. So we owned an RV because we could control travel that way. It could be clean, no chemicals. We were the Canaries still. So.
And you had no tolerance whatsoever.
No.
Wow.
So we went back into the home, and my oldest son tried to kill himself. He had suicidal ideation. And this is the thing with molds. It's a very dark energy. It takes over. It loves to colonize inside of the body. All over the body. We're warm and moist and dark, and mold loves to set up shop inside of us. And it's insidious. It builds over time if you're not actively getting it out, as you know. And we tried to return. And now knowing what I know after this many years in the mold space, I know that it was likely mold, mycotoxins, spore fragments, that we just didn't fully get out. And you can react to all of that if you're already made sensitive, especially if you've left and then you return. It immediately, the immune system in a pandas child is like, high alert, we're not okay, get out. The body's always trying to give you data. It's trying to protect you. It's just information.
Right.
But at that point, when I almost lost my son, I'm like, I hate this house. I don't want it. I don't want anything in it. We're out. We're out.
Yeah.
I don't want to fix it. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
We just replaced all the soft porous things. We've done all the things I felt like, but now looking back, we didn't replace one of the things of carpet. We didn't really clean every single wall. It was a 4,400 square foot home. I was like, I can't afford that. I can't touch it myself. Right. So it becomes, but when I look at what we ended up losing, I'm like, we probably could have.
Well, yeah, so but you don't know. You don't know where the end is.
No.
And you don't know that there is one.
And with the kids on repeat, stacked trauma like I had, I was drinking from a fire hose at that point. And I'm like, I just want to stop. I'm good. So the cars were contaminated, all the things.
This takes a toll on the health. It takes a toll on the family. It takes
Absolutely.
A toll on the finances.
Yep.
Tell us where bottom was. Other than, not that we're not already.
We're low, but so we decide my kids cannot tolerate Florida. I know I can't start my son in school. We decide that we're going to move. We get rid of both cars. We get an RV, a brand new fifth wheel. We get a truck, brand new truck, one vehicle. And we decide we're going out west. We're going to go to the high desert. We move out to Bend, Oregon. We're testing all the houses, trying to find a safe when it's a hot market. You're sending in an army quick. Like, okay, let's test it, send it in, see if we've got a decent baseline because we got to get this contract. Yeah. We find a beautiful mountain home. We start our lives over. And it feels like it's a fresh beginning. I'm like, it's going to be good.
It's drier here.
It's dry.
Can't be any mold.
Yeah, there's 20% humidity. Our Ermie's under a 2. I'm like, okay, this is like the best Ermie I've ever seen.
Because you trust those, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Again, so we get out there. Things are going well. Both of my kids at this point, guys, are immune compromised. They're both on blood infusions. Jackson's not well. This is October of 2018. November hits. My kids are supposed to get a blood infusion. A huge snowstorm comes. We're in our RV before we closed on the house. They can't make it across the mountain. My son misses one of his IVIGs. Tyler, the older one, the recovered from autism one, and he regresses again to a state at 10 years old that looks like full-blown autism again. And I'm like, this can't be happening.
Because he can't, it was just like when he was being breastfed.
Yeah.
He can't, you're trying to keep things at bay.
Yep.
And as soon as he's off,
Yep.
his body still can't
Yes.
recover.
Yeah.
Because it's in fight or flight all the
Yep.
time.
So he came down too, and he missed his immune infusion. So that shows you the level of sensitive canaries. We also were trying to treat Marcons. So Marcons is multiple antibiotic coag negative strep and staph in sinus, in the sinuses. And that being so close to the blood-brain barrier,
Right.
and I think him being so inflamed and then missing that infusion. Guys, these kids are sensitive. It can be a perfect storm. You're trying to do good, and trust that I blamed myself so hard for that. But so now I've got Tyler and Jackson both in an absolute, I'm like, what is happening here? We were trying to be good, start over. Fast forward a couple months, and we have our nurses. We're in our new home around July of 2020. So COVID comes, shuts down the world. We're in isolation. I've got my 2 immune compromised pandas kids. We end up doing some testing that year, and we finally tested positive for Lyme disease, which I had expected for years. And we always tested negative because of the immune compromised piece. So these, you can see, it's always layered.
Yeah.
These are complex cases, guys. And
they're chasing the rabbit.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because it's over here, and then it's over here, and then it's like, oh, it's Lyme. Or it's this. And those might all be presenting
yes.
in that way, and it may be valid, but if we're just linear in our thinking,
yes. Well,
we're not getting to necessarily the root issues.
In labs, guys, labs miss a lot. Okay, if I could tell you one thing, it's labs miss a lot. It's a snapshot in time. It's the area you're testing. It's if it was in that pee sample or the blood, if you're excreting, if you caught dust in the ERMI. If you didn't, it could still be there. If you have a urine mycotoxin test, but you've got HLA-DR, if you have an immune system that's broken, you guys see.
Are you getting what she's saying here, guys? It's a process, and this is what we always say. This on the diagnostic end, on the lab, for the body, and on our process too. You have to have somebody that can steer all this information.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to trust a process and somebody that understands the body or understands the house to say, okay, I'm going to get what data is relevant at this time. We're going to use that as part of a process, but we're not going to run for the shiny thing and then just be reactive. So much of us are reactive.
Right.
As soon as we get a bad ERMI on my end, oh my gosh, we're all going to die. As soon as we get a bad panel. It's like, that means this. No,
or even trust. It's not. Or even trusting that, this is clear. That means I don't have an issue. Not necessarily. You might not be excreting. Your immune system might be so broken that you're not making an antibody response to the virus because it's broken. So we learned a lot. But we did finally pop up positive. There was a new type of test for Lyme disease, it was actually Bartonella, which utilized the DNA of the bug instead of my child's immune system. And all 3 of us popped up so positive. I was like, I knew it. We had all the symptoms. I've been saying it for years. So again, intuition, mamas. So we start wanting to treat for the co-infections in the Lyme, and my oldest son at this point has Bell's palsy. That's what made us test again. And I feel like it's a fresh start. It's COVID. We're all home at least.
Yeah.
There's no school. Our home healthcare nurse, this is probably the most rock bottom, before the most rock bottom, is our home healthcare nurse. We were trying to keep them out of the lab. Because we were already trying to access veins into Panda's brain-inflamed children. Mm-hmm. They were already not doing well. Every blood poke was traumatic.
Right.
We did them every month. There was scar tissue.
Yeah.
So we had our medical team would send out labs and say, hey, draw this. So we were running additional Lyme labs to determine what else existed besides Bartonella.
Right.
He called CPS on me and accused me of Munchausen's by proxy.
Oh. We have to stop here for now. Check out part 2 of Ashley's story. And until then, be safe out there, kids. See ya.